I don't think like a lot of you like, oh, these people can't get rid of their religion. Look at the Jewish community, for example. There's
Yeah.
so many Jews who don't believe in God or any of these stories, and still they go to synagogue, still they do their prayers because they find value in the community and the rituals. I mean, if they can do it, why can't other Christians? A lot of Christians do that as well. So many atheists celebrate Christmas. So I think Muslims are so far behind this, and I think it will eventually happen with so many Muslims as well. I think this is why I support secularization. I don't support reform because I'm still, and in fact that this will speed up atheism. If you tell a lot of people that, you know what, you don't need to get rid of your rituals, you don't need to get rid of your practices if you get rid of your belief, because a lot of people keep the belief because they think that if I get rid of the belief, I have to get rid of all of these things I enjoy.
But
I'm
the
like,
belief
no,
gives the
keep
rituals
them.
meaning for a lot of them. Like it's one thing,
Well,
like what percentage of Christians at, like, pick any church, what percentage of them don't believe in God? Maybe like 1% of churchgoers. Like it's not like
low right now. It's low right now. I'm saying long term it could be. The Jewish community has shown that long term this could be very high.
But
We
even
have
the
atheist rabbis now.
The Jews who, most of the Jews either don't go to synagogue and they're just like live like us, or they're like like they do. So that these like Ben Shapiro type communities, like I actually think Ben is one of the ones who, I don't know if he actually believes, he just does the community part. I think there's a lot of them that maybe do that secretly, but they don't openly, because that belief has to be what unifies those people. So I love your optimism, but I wonder if there's a day where all these people are going to go into church and do the fun part of worshiping while they all know they're worshiping to nothing.
It doesn't have to be all, it just has to be a higher percentage. It just has to be a higher percentage. That's
I think
all
there's
I'm
more of
asking.
a chance that churches and the community and all that will leave with the religion, as opposed to we'll keep that. And like, I don't know how many people are going to keep Sabbath.
We need ritual. Here's the thing: we need rituals. Okay.
So we need new ones that
community.
we need to create that are outside of religion.
It will be a mix of both. We will come up. Some people will be so attached to their childhood rituals that even if they become atheists, they would just stay with that. Some people will come up with new rituals. Some people will figure like, you know what, I don't need rituals, right? But I'm just saying, this is if you look at people and like, oh yeah, I don't see my grandma coming out of this. Like, yeah, well, give it 50 years. Don't give, maybe not her, maybe her grandchild, maybe her grandchild's grandchild, right? Yeah. This is a very slow, I mean, it seems slow because we just, we live like 80 years or so. Yeah, but if you look at long, this is actually happening faster. Here, let me give you some hope as a fellow Iranian. In Iran, this is data. I will show you this. I will send you this. Over one generation, in 40 years, half of the population of a country with more than 18.5 million people went from having a religion to not having a religion.
Mm-hmm.
Half of a population within one lifetime
of the regime, though, and I don't think because they read this and they're like, oh, there's no God.
Yeah. It's because of the regime, but it shows that it's possible. It shows that people will. It shows the potential.
Is, will that be replaced with, like, look at the evolution of religion, like from Zeus to Thor? It seems like people always want to believe in something bigger than themselves. And unfortunately, with atheism, we don't have that thing to tell them why they're here. We don't know why we're here. Nobody knows. They just may come up with a story.
Okay, but we don't have to look for whys. We could teach people to be comfortable with not knowing. Here's the thing: this idea, this whole anxiousness over not knowing things. We learn this from religion. People who are born with no religion, they don't have this anxiety. So this is a learned anxiety, which can be unlearned. Which can be unlearned. And again, it doesn't have to be all or none. You say like people leave Islam and they have other stupid beliefs. Okay, it's okay. Even if somebody has 100 wrong beliefs, if they go from having 100 wrong beliefs to having 99 wrong beliefs, you can be like, oh my God, they look at all these stupid beliefs that they still have. That is progress. They just lost one wrong belief. That is improvement. That's good for them and good for society.
We're in the age of information. We have all this information. We have social media with all this, but our brains are not equipped. Our brains don't look for the scientific method. That's why conspiracy theories are very attractive, because our brains look for emotional responses. So now we see, look at all these conspiracy beliefs, COVID, all these people are more likely to believe like I used to think the marketplace of ideas, the better ideas will win over bad ideas. Then I realized the ideas that typically win are the ones that comfort the typical human brain, which isn't the scientifically accurate one, which is the one that's more emotional, conspiratorial, easy. Oh, there is this global cabal, evil people like that are the World Economic Forum. Like these people, their brains are wired to be more likely. Now, things like education and stuff can change this, but when we're looking on a mass scale, I mean, look at what's happened as we've given people more information. Some people have just gone crazier. You see what's going on social media.
Don't just look at it from a mass scale. Also look at it from a long-term perspective. Still, are we not better off compared to 100 years ago?
Oh, yes.
100 years ago. Okay.
But I mean, look at something like COVID. Look at how many people are anti-vax now. Look at how many people don't trust any science.
But people had more wrong beliefs before. Like you're like, oh my God, so many people have anti-vax views. Okay. But people are on average more informed and have less wrong beliefs. We look at our own lifetime, I think people are stupid. But if you look at compare the same people that you're labeling as stupid with the average people 100 years from now, they will look like geniuses.
That's true. Yeah, we're going to be very stupid at some time. Like me and you are going to be like, we're going to be like,
yeah. People will look at these videos and like,
very stupid. It's like when you look at very old, because some of the most intelligent like philosophers back then, you read some of their beliefs, you're like, you're so stupid, but they're not. They were the smartest people at the time. Yeah. And that's gonna be this book at some point.
Well, that would be okay. We would in the future, we would be smart enough not to judge us like we're judging. We would be less judgmental. We're like, okay, they were working with a lot less, so it's understandable.
I always think of it as like how we view people that had slaves now might be the way people view us and what we do to animals and factory farming. They're gonna think,
I don't think so.
What's wrong with these people?
No, I don't think so. I think the future will be, when they look at the past, they will be so less judgmental. I think. I mean, they would be better than us, but they wouldn't judge it. They wouldn't be like, oh, what the
true.
I agree with you, they would be like, of course I would act like that.
It's gonna be crazy to them that we just like do the things we do to, for instance, animal. Like I think there's a time where people are going to be like, they're not going to judge us in the way that we judge people in the past. I don't judge people for having slaves. Like I would probably have slaves if I was at that time. I don't judge people for those things, but the way that we think right now, we're so moral. I think as morality evolves, we're like, there's going to be a time where the way we act now is going to be entirely super immoral compared to what people are going to think at the time.